Hey you! Thank you so much for clicking on this video. So firstly, I just wanted to thank each and every one of you who was so kind and supportive of my previous video on betrayal trauma. I mean, I wasn't really expecting anyone to watch it, but the fact that over 1,000 people watched it, and not only watched it but also were so supportive of what I went through. There was so much positivity in the comments. I wasn't really expecting any of that, and having all that happen, it made me feel really happy. It made me feel really safe. And so I just wanted to thank every one of you for letting me be vulnerable, for letting me share my story and not judging me. I mean, you guys are the best, literally. So one of you beautiful people asked me in my last video in the comments that how am I recovering from the trauma that I went through. And I think that this is an amazing question. Thank you so much for asking me that. And in this video, I am going to answer this question. I'm not only answering the question to that beautiful person who asked me this question, but I also feel that I'm answering this for all the people out there who have been through this kind of situation in life and may or may not be struggling with how to navigate through it. So, the first and the foremost thing that I did to recover from the betrayal trauma was getting out of my relationship, and not only getting out but never looking back. So since I was in a relationship for almost 4 years, I was seeing a life partner in that guy, and I would reach out to him for literally anything. If it was good news or if it was a bad news, if I was happy, if I was sad, whatever happened in my life. And now that that person is not in my life anymore, it's hard to let go of that habit, especially when something really good happens in my life or something really bad happens in my life. It's very hard to not go to that person who used to be a go-to person at some point. So the first thing that I did, and I am still trying to do, I still struggle with this a lot, is not reach out to that person anymore, not go back to that person anymore. And not only him, but his entire family. In that relationship, I had become very close to his mother as well. At a point, I was treating her as my own mother, and the bond that I and his mother had was like a mother and daughter bond. And that bond is really hard for me to let go because it was something very valuable for me. It was very valuable for her as well. I still value her to this day, but some things are just not meant to be, and it's a very hard pill to swallow. So I am giving not only him but his family also the space that they deserve. No matter how many times I really feel like calling them or just know how those people are, I'm not doing that anymore. So the first step that I took was to completely cut off that connection that I had with not only him but his entire family too. The second thing that I did, or I must say that I did not do, was getting into rebound relationships or seeking my ex-partner in someone else just to fill that void in my life that my ex-partner left. And when I say rebound, I'm not telling you that you shouldn't have a rebound. I mean, everyone has a coping mechanism, and many people consider rebound to be a healthy coping mechanism, which is not a wrong thing. But for me personally, I couldn't really put myself through that. I don't find it the right thing to do on a personal level. So the second thing that I did was not get into any rebounds or any flings or any relationships just to fill that void in my life that my ex-partner left. The third thing that I did, or again, not do, was getting into the drug scene or abusing substances. Just because I was stressed and depressed and unhappy, I did not consider it a reason strong enough to get myself into drinking or smoking or abusing substances. Having said that, I have a history of substance abuse, which I will share with you all once I am comfortable enough. And I am sure that you guys are so cool that you will make me comfortable enough to share that. So maybe I'll share about my drug addictions in some other video. But yeah, after going through this betrayal phase, I did not really consider getting into this kind of scene where I was drinking away my days or smoking my lungs out because of the stress. I did not do any of that, and I had my reasons for not doing that, and I'll explain the reasons in the next steps. So, the reason why I did not get into the drug scene was because I got into the gym scene. Rather than making substances my addiction, I made gym my addiction. Having said that, I actually started going to the gym while I was in the relationship. And the initial reason why I started going to the gym was because I was very insecure of the other women, and I was comparing myself constantly with them, and I wanted to look like them, be like them. So that was the initial reason, my insecurities. But now I feel that all those insecurities and comparison have got nothing to do with the outside world. It has got nothing to do with other women and how they look like. All it has got to do with is how I look at myself when I look in the mirror. If I am happy with who I am right now, or if I am finding an area of improvement in myself that I can change. And when I look in the mirror, I do find a lot of areas of improvement in my body. I think that I can lose fat. I think that I can get stronger. So now the gym culture has become something for me that gives me a sense of self-worth, no matter how the external world looks like. Someday I want to look at the mirror and I want to feel good about my body and about my mind as well. And gym is really helping me with that. Gym is not about improving myself to look better than other women, but gym is about improving myself to look better. Period. The next thing that I'm doing to recover from the betrayal trauma is putting my energy into my job. When I started my job, and just letting you know, I have an IT job, and just like any other IT professional, I used to hate my job, but now I am actually beginning to like it because I am putting my mind into it. I am putting all my energy and all my heart into it. It's becoming interesting for me. I am developing interest in getting better at my job. I think I'll share my story on how I'm doing better in my IT career in maybe some other video. But yeah, right now what I'm doing is focus all my energy and all my emotions, all my mind and heart into my job rather than brooding over the past and crying about the past. And it is paying off in some really cool ways. I'm getting paid better, so that really helps. And my workplace and the people in my workplace are a very good resource for me to get out of my shell. In the workplace, you can talk to someone without really getting way too personal, and that is accepted in the workplace, and that is what I love about talking to my colleagues. Sharing my personal life with someone and opening up to people is not my strong suit, but still I do need some people who I can talk to, and I think that colleagues are the best people to do that. Talk without getting personal at all. The next thing that I am doing to recover from the betrayal trauma is getting back to my hobbies. So whatever I lost in my relationship, I'm trying to re-establish that connection with myself, that connection with who I was and what I used to like. Having said that, maybe I will not get all my hobbies, all my interests back because I outgrew many of them, but it doesn't mean that I'm stopping there. I am trying to find new hobbies for myself to invest my energy in. I mean, right now I'm creating a video for YouTube, which I never used to do before, but now I'm here doing that. So this is a new hobby for me, and maybe in the future I'll find some other hobby to invest my energy into. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Trying to reconnect with what I used to love, and if I'm unable to reconnect with those things, I'm trying to find new things to connect with in life. Now that you can already see, I'm doing a lot of things, keeping myself busy. Like one very beautiful comment in my last video said that keep yourself busy. And that is exactly what I'm doing. I'm keeping myself busy in work, in my personal life, that is my hobbies, in fitness. So I'm doing a lot of things all together just to keep myself busy. And I'm doing that because in my relationship, I really felt this feeling of defeat, as if I lost so much. Doing all of these things simultaneously is helping me get that feeling of winning. And also, since I'm doing a lot of things all at once, it can get really exhausting. Sometimes that even makes me really cranky. And also, like I said in my previous video, the memories from the past can sometimes just resurface without me even having to try. And that is when it gets really overwhelming for me. So there are phases where I get those phases of drowning back into all of that mess. And for that, what I'm trying to do is change the narrative of what happened with me in the past. So rather than feeling bad about myself and viewing myself as a victim, I am trying to shift the narrative to seeing myself as more empowered. During the times when I'm slumping back, I try to recall the things that I'm grateful for that are with me today because of the relationship I had with that person. While I was in the relationship, I learned some new skills. I learned video editing, for example, and I am really grateful for that because that is helping me now. From that guy, I was able to learn how to make money. Although he made me feel like shit in my personal life, but in my professional life, he made me realize my market value, and for that I am grateful. So yeah, the little things that I am grateful for, which I had never known if I was not with that guy. That's what I try to shift my perspective to, rather than just crying about myself and feeling as if I am the biggest victim in the world. Having said that, I am not at all trying to understand why he had to do what he had to do or trying to forgive him and stuff like that. All I'm trying to do right now is not give in to hatred and not make my blood boil all the time. And whenever my blood boils because of whatever happened in the past, I try to remind myself of the good things that happened with me, the good things that I learned as a result of being in that relationship. It gets really hard sometimes, especially during PMS, when my hormones are all haywire and I'm not able to think properly. It's really hard to shift the perspective then. But with time and with practice, I am getting better at shifting the narrative and changing my perspective towards the past. Alright, that is it for this video. Thank you so much, each and every one of you who has been so supportive, so kind, so loving, so caring. Thank you so much, Suraj Reddy, for asking that question. It was an amazing question. I'm so glad that you asked that, and I also hope that this video can be helpful for someone else who is also trying to recover from betrayal trauma. Thank you so much if you watched till the end. I'm really, really grateful for you. I hope to see you soon. Till then, take care.